So tell us about Collingwood Harbor. What was it like before it was delisted?
Collingwood Harbor is a fairly contained water body, and it had a sewage treatment plant that was discharging a lot of phosphorus, which your viewers may know causes major algal blooms, a lot of algae, choking the waterways. There was an industrial facility there polluting the sediment. We had tributaries that were made channelized to prevent flooding in town, which destroyed habitat. So it was quite degraded from wildlife, algae, a not lack of oxygen at the bottom, and we had a lot of work to do to figure out how to best bring the harbor back to health.
And what did you do to get it delisted?
Well, we spent 8 years with a team of government scientists and engineers and a team of community leaders. So first we identified who has a stake in a healthy harbor, who has a responsibility for some of the degradation in the harbor. We brought that team together. We came to a common vision on what people wanted their harbor to be like. And as people around the table, the leaders in the town of Collingwood, decided what they wanted to use their harbor for, we helped them come up with some options for solutions, which they selected. And because they were the ones selecting it, they knew that they were going to be responsible in part, with our help, to implement it, which they did, and we monitored the recovery. And then we had to invent how to delist because nobody had done it before, so we were the first to get there. And we just measured environmental quality, all the goals and the uses that the community wanted, and had the beneficial uses gotten healthy, and they did. And so 8 years after we started, we were able to declare success and try and help others figure out how they could declare success.
And why do you think the program to delist Collingwood was so successful?
Well, Collingwood is a very special place. First of all, there's a passion in the people in Collingwood. They believe they do believe, and they do live on the pristine waters of Georgian Bay. They have a beautiful harbor. They've got Blue Mountain behind them. Boaters in the middle of the summer go skiing at lunchtime, and it's just a beautiful place. And it was not on their agenda to be a toxic hotspot. They were stunned by it, startled by it, and anything they could do to make that vision of a healthy, thriving community come to life, they were dedicated to doing that. So everybody in town got to know that we are working collaboratively to make the harbor healthy.
So they were connected to the place.
Town council, we had the mayor as one of the citizens sitting around the table saying, what is it that we're going to do? We had radio shows in the newspapers. We were always had a voice out telling people how they can get involved, how they can help, what they can do individually, how they can help us bring the harbor back to life. And it was a success because everybody got engaged and everybody wanted to make the harbor great.
It's a big deal to be delisted because since 1987, only 3 areas of concern have been delisted in Canada. Why so few sites delisted?
There's a few reasons for that. In some situations, the degree of degradation has been going on for a very long time. Huge industrial facilities needing hundreds of millions of dollars, and that money is hard to find. In some of the communities, they just weren't engaged. There are much smaller and simpler problems to solve than we had in Collingwood, but the citizens are not involved, and there's no sense of vision or passion. So you need the leadership, you need the passion, you need the communication. You also, ideally, don't have to spend billions of dollars on infrastructure, which is what we have to do in the City of Toronto, for example. The City of Toronto and region is an area of concern, but the amount of investment and time is just going to be much longer. So if you have very high population densities, urban centers, or heavy agricultural inputs, the solutions are more difficult to find the money to solve. So it's a question of passion, finances, and the will to get it done.
Well, Gail, thank you so much for being here.
It's absolutely my
pleasure. It's been a pleasure to speak to you.
Thank you so much.